Hello everyone, welcome to Chinmoy's Biology channel, and we are here today with the second part of revision of the lesson transport of food and minerals in plants. So let's get started with today's episode, where we are having in objective type question fill in the blanks, and in long answer type question we will discuss both the questions and answers as well. So don't skip the lesson in between and stay with me throughout the episode, so you will get to know many important questions as well as many important answers as well. So let's get started without further delay. So here in the first fill in the blanks with suitable terms given below. So I have made it much easier. I have given the terms in below, but you will not get the terms given in your exam. So let us start with that. Fill in the blanks with suitable terms given below. So transportation in plants is carried out by, there will be a gap dash system. So there it is given conducting system. So transportation in plants is carried out by a conducting system. So second one is the upward movement of the sap that contains water and minerals is called ascent of sap. So they have given here the ascent. So it is ascent of sap. This is conducting system. The transpiration is more when the wind is blowing fast. So fast it's given here. Most water gets evaporated from the plant from its leaves. Okay, transpiration is reduced if the air is humid. The leaves have more stomata on their lower surface. So stomata has been given here. All the answers have been provided here, but in your exams you will not have these answers given, right? So they'll give you directly the questions and they'll give you a gap here and you'll have to fill in the answers. So practice like that only. So this is for your benefit only. I've given you the options as well as to make it easier. I fill in the gaps as well. So let us move on to the long answer type questions. Now the first one in long answer type question is draw a magnified view of root hair and describe how it helps in the absorption of water from the soil. So first you are drawing this magnified root hair. It is highly magnified. So this is the root hair. It is having a nucleus here. It is having cytoplasm. This is cytoplasm. This is the outer cell membrane. This is the cell wall. Now these are all epithelial cells of the root. These are epithelial cells of the root. So this diagram you are supposed to draw with this labeling in full. Then we will describe and how it helps in the absorption of water. So given above is a magnified view of root hair. It is a long protuberance of a cell. This cell contains a fluid called cell sap. So inside the cell there is cell sap, which is more concentrated than the surrounding soil water. So for that only the soil water will move from the soil to the cell, inside the cell, because there is a concentration difference. So the outside the concentration is less and inner side it's more. So from lower to higher concentration it will move through a semi-permeable membrane. So this is osmosis. The root hair is covered by a thin cell membrane that allows water molecules to pass through but prevents the larger molecules. So the water from the soil passes into the root hairs by osmosis, right? So the water from the soil is passing through the root hairs by osmosis, so inside the root, and thus it is taken above through the stem to the leaves for making of the food, and it is also helping the plant during transpiration to cool the to produce a cooling effect in the plant. So this is the description of how the root hair is helping in the absorption. So now the next one. So here is a question. It is a very important question, that raisins do swell in water, whereas the grapes they shrink in sugar syrup. Why? So they are shrinking in syrup, and raisins, they'll always, when you soak a few raisins in water, they'll swell up. So when you are putting raisins in water, they are absorbing the water and they are swelling up. After 10 to 12 hours we will notice the raisins are swelled up and the raisins have absorbed water. So what is this? As the water from the outside has entered the raisins, it is called endosmosis. Okay, it is called endosmosis. And what is happening here? The water is moving out of the grapes. Grapes were swollen only, but what they are doing, the grapes, we will see that after this is the raisins before 10 to 12 hours it was like this, and then after endosmosis it became this. So what is happening to grapes? Now in this place, if you are putting the grapes, let us see what is happening. Now here we have put the grapes. So we have put the grapes in water. So we have put the grapes in another bowl that is having thick sugar solution. So after 10 to 12 hours, we will notice that the grapes have shrunk. The grapes have lost water. So the condition of grapes is like this now after 10 to 12 hours. So what has happened here? That is exosmosis. Exosmosis means water has come out of the cell. So coming out of water from the grapes. So coming out of water from grapes outside this solution is a syrup solution. So this is a hypertonic solution. So hypertonic solution because inside the grapes the solution is having lower concentration and outside it is higher concentration. So hypertonic solution outside. So the water from inside the grapes will come out of the cells and that will cause the grapes to lose water and to shrink. So at the same is happening in both the cases. In both the cases, the gain or loss of water through a peel acting as a semi-permeable membrane. So the cover of the grapes is also acting as a semi-permeable membrane, and the cover of the in the raisins also it is acting as a semi-permeable membrane. So this membrane has minute pores which allows the water molecules to pass through but prevent the larger ones of sugar. So sugar molecules cannot enter through that, only the water molecules can pass in and pass out. So in the first case it was endosmosis, water was entering in the raisins and it was swelling up, and in this case it is exosmosis, that is water is coming out of this grapes and the grapes are shrinking. Is it clear to all of you? Now let us move on to the next question, but this is a very important question. You should know the answers and write it properly and with a label diagram like this. Now here another question is there. How does transpiration help the roots absorb water and minerals from the soil? Now transpiration process in plants create a suction pressure which pulls up water from the xylem of the roots to the stem and then to the leaves. So it is a transpiration pull is helping to pull the water from the roots, from the xylem of the roots to the stem. So from the xylem of the roots to the stem, then to the leaves it is being transported. So what is the function of xylem tissues to transport the water? Phloem is transporting the food, so xylem is transporting the water and minerals. So xylem tissues in the form of capillary tube, that is tracheids and fibers, where narrower in diameter, the greater the force of pushing will be there. So whenever the xylem vessels they lay empty, such a driving during the water loss during transpiration, that is when it is daytime, when the water becomes below into water from the below rises into them by the capillary force. Okay, so due to the transpirational pull, more and more water molecules are put up due to the tendency of remaining joint cohesion. Okay, so we can say that the cohesive force is acting. There is a tendency, there is a joint cohesive force which is pulling all the water from the roots, xylem tissues, with the help of xylem tissues from the root xylem to the through the stem to the leaves. Now this pulling force is created by the leaves. It is very important in case of tall trees where the upward conduction of water takes place. So in shorter plants it's fine, but in long tall plants it's very difficult to create that pull. So that pull is helped by transpiration. So transpiration is causing a huge water loss, that is creating the xylem vessels empty. So due to that cohesive force, due to that pressure, capillary pull and all, so the water will rise up gradually, right? Now define the processes by which the plants absorbs water and minerals from the soil. So we have taken three processes: diffusion, osmosis and active transport are the three main processes by which the plant is absorbing water and minerals from the soil. So soil water moves into the root hairs through the process of diffusion from higher concentration to lower concentration, as well as we can say that we put as we put sugar in milk solution, the sugar molecules are evenly distributed in the milk and they occupy the intermolecular spaces of milk, right? So like this only the diffusion is that the soil root hairs, the process of diffusion is from higher to lower concentration, the soil water moves. Okay, so the concentration inside in the cell sap in the root hairs is higher, and outside is lower. So at times from higher to lower concentration it will move. So osmosis is that the cell sap and the cell walls act as a semi-permeable membrane, and permeable membranes, the concentration of the cell sap is more as compared to the water and minerals present in the soil. This is what I told now. So the water dissolved and minerals enters the root by the process of osmosis. Okay. So this is how three processes by which the plants absorb water and minerals from the soil. First is diffusion, second is osmosis, last is active transport. The active transport is root hairs absorb water and minerals from the soil, and water diffuses into the root hairs as the concentration of water is more as compared to the root hair. So, but in case of minerals, these minerals move from lower concentration to the molecules of higher concentration. So the minerals from the soil along with water move into the roots. So this is active transport in the opposite direction which needs energy. So this type of active transport in the opposite direction which needs energy. Okay, so you have studied, when you have studied transport in plants and food in minerals and plants, you have studied all these processes. So you need to write the definition of the three, and these three processes are only involved in the absorption of food and water and minerals in soil. So look at this question. How water absorbed by the roots is important for the plants? The water absorbed by the roots is important for the plant in three ways. So what are the three ways? Transportation, for food production, and for cooling. So transportation, the water in the plant transports substances in the solution from one part of the body to another. Water is used in producing food for photosynthesis by combining it with carbon dioxide from air and in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So for food production water is used, and water is also used to cool the plant by evaporation through the leaves when it is hot outside. So three main effects of water: for transportation, for food production, and for cooling, right? So here the question is, name the factors which affect the rate of transpiration, state their role in each case. So we know what are the factors which are affecting the rate of transpiration, like sunlight, temperature, wind, humidity, low atmospheric pressure. So we know more the sunlight, more will be the rate of transpiration, and during dark stomata will be closed, so hardly there is any transpiration. Next, temperature, transpiration will be faster in summer than in winter. Wind, so more it is faster in windy day than in a less windy day. So here humidity is inversely proportional. So if the humidity is more, transpiration will be less, and humidity is less, transpiration will be more. And low atmospheric pressure, the rate of transpiration increases when the pressure is low. So this is the description of or the role of the factors in each case. Now here mention the two ways in which the transpiration helps the plants. So first main help is, it is helping in the cooling effect. Water gets evaporated from the plant. The heat required for this evaporation is obtained from the plant itself, and this is the latent heat. So you all have studied latent heat in physics, right? So thus the plant is able to cool itself when it is hot outside. So when it is scorching heat outside, by this cooling effect it will have when they are having transpiration. So this is similar, that when you are sweating in summer, when you are sitting under a fan, you will have a cooling effect. Your body will cool down. Same in that of plants, they should also have a cooling effect, right? So transpiration helps in maintaining the concentration of cell sap inside the body. This is another main concentrate. This maintaining the concentration is another main factor which the transpiration is doing to help the plant. The roots continue to absorb the water from the soil. If excess water is not evaporated out, the sap would become dilute, preventing further absorption of water along with the minerals required by the plant. So these are the two important ways by which the transpiration is helping the plant. So here I have asked you a question where you will prove that the plant loses water through its leaves only. So what you are doing to demonstrate that plant loses water through its leaf, take one small well-watered potted plant having few branches, place a polythene bag over it, one branch, and as it is shown in figure A, they have not shown the full plant. So there is a potted plant, this is the one branch, and you have covered it with a plastic bag, a transparent plastic bag, and you have tied a rubber band here. Okay, you have taken another plant where you have torn off all the leaves. No leaves are there, only the stem is there. That only you have covered with a plastic bag and you have tied a rubber band tightly here. Okay, so what is happening? What is the observation? So remove all the leaves from the another branch B of the same plant. Cover this too with a polythene bag and tie it with a rubber band. So you are placing it under sunlight for 4 to 6 hours. You will notice drops appeared on the inner surface of polythene bag over branch A. So branch A was having leaves. Okay, so branch A was having leaves and branch B, the stem was without leaves. Okay, so branch B, the stem was without leaves. So when when in the plastic bag you are having drops of water, in this plastic bag no drops of water. So what does it prove? No drops of water. This indicates that most of the water gets evaporated through the leaves. So no leaves, no transpiration. So no leaves, no transpiration. So through the stem little bit transpiration happens but less transpiration. Okay, but here as we have torn off leaves, we have seen that no water drops have appeared in this. So hence it is proved that leaves are the main playing the main role in transpiration, right? Now name any three minerals whose deficiency causes diseases in plants. Give the symptoms of each deficiency. So the nutrient elements, minerals are essential for the plants to grow well and complete their life cycle properly, as it is important for us also. Nutrients, macro and micro minerals are required for our body also, but for plants also they are similarly important. And what happens when there are deficiency of these things in plants? So macro elements, these are required in larger concentrations and they are obtained from the soil. So macro elements whose deficiency, what diseases are being caused? So if nitrogen deficiency, so three macronutrients we have taken: nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So the deficiency of nitrogen causes yellowing of the leaf, wrinkling of the cereal grains. The deficiency of phosphorus causes purple and red spots on the leaf, delay in the seed germination. And the deficiency of potassium will cause poor growth. Now we come to micronutrients. These are required in small amounts and they are obtained from the soil. So these three micronutrients are those whose deficiency causes iron, yellowing of the leaves, manganese, yellowing of the leaves and with gray spots, and zinc, that is D-shaped leaves. And we can say that yellowing of the seeds and the leaves, and stunted growth of the plant as well. So these are the deficiency of the macro and micronutrients which are causing deficiency symptoms in plants. Okay, let us move on to the next one. So here comes the last question of your revision paper, that is list out the differences between xylem and phloem. So how you are going to write it? See, this is a tabular method. This is xylem. So xylem transport water and minerals. It is one way upward flow. Here you can see that it transports food in form of sugars. Phloem, it is two-way flow. It is one-way flow. It is two-way flow. It is transport is bulk flow due to negative pressure. Transport is by osmosis and turgor pressure, right? Now here hollow dead cells are there. Here live cells with no nucleus are there. Now no end walls are there in xylem. Here perforated end walls are there. Like this you can differentiate in this table and learn it. They form the center of vascular bundle and they are outside edge of the vascular bundle. So they are forming the center. The xylem is forming the center of the vascular bundle, whereas these phloem, they are the outside edge of the vascular bundle. So rich in lignin, which supports the plant, and they are also transport amino acids, mRNA and hormones. So this is the major basic difference between xylem and phloem, and it is very important for all your exams. And also till now we have completed in 2 episodes transport of food and minerals and plants. So please do go through it and stay tuned with my channel. Subscribe to my channel because in the next episode I'll be bringing you with your question answers revision on ecosystem. So till then, stay tuned, stay updated, share my lessons and keep learning from my videos. Thank you. Thanks a lot for watching.